So today we're going to touch on a few topics about how you should behave abroad. So the first thing I want to touch on when it comes to how you should move abroad. How should you move abroad? One thing that you really want to do, especially in these South American countries, especially over here, is to be seen rather than heard. I know in the States you guys are used to being loud mouths and drawing attention to yourselves and not really knowing when to shut the fuck up. A lot of y'all are like that. Crime in these areas is very bad, and you are a visitor. Let me ask you this. Would you go into a stranger's house speaking very loud, throwing the N-word out there, yelling at the top of your lungs, just drawing as much attention to yourself in a stranger's house? Because essentially that's what you're doing here. You know, if I go outside over here and I'm the loudest person in the room, and I'm black, right? And I don't even fit in because I'm black. If you're the loudest person in the room and you're a foreigner, come on, bro. You got to be a lot smarter than that. You have to be a lot smart. So what you're going to do is, if you go to a place like Salvador and you're like that, and you're going to draw the wrong attention to yourself, trying to be heard rather than seen. You do not need to be loud and obnoxious to get women to see you. If you're worth seeing, they will notice you. Trust me, they will notice you. You do not need to make a scene. What benefit are you getting out of being so loud and obnoxious? What are you getting out of being loud and obnoxious abroad? So I'll give you an example, right? Somebody that wants to be seen. You guys are, and this is not a diss to this guy. You guys remember when Fred and I don't think Floyd was with us at the time, but Fred and I, Floyd wasn't with us, I think. Fred and I, we were at a club in Salvador, and there's a guy that is buying, he said he's gonna pay for the whole table, cool, whatever. But then instead of him approaching the chicks, which you don't need to do that in Salvador, you need to just wait for them to choose you, because that's what they will do. Usually dudes that cold approach in Salvador get rejected. I think to this day, I have found yet somebody that traveled to Salvador while I was there, cold approached and got the number. And if they did get the number, did they get a text back? And if they did text back, did it go somewhere? You don't need to do that. What you need to do when you go to Salvador is be seen and know when to jump on it. Trying to be heard and trying to make your presence known in somebody else's territory is never a good idea, because he knows what I'm talking about. I don't know anybody that's been to Brazil that did a whole bunch of cold approaching and won like that. Even me, because I did that when I first got down there. I went down there to Rio, and my homeboy, we would just shoot at every chick we thought was pretty. But the ones that smiled at me, the ones that chose at me, no problem. No problem at all. Also, when you're in South America, you never know what drug cartel's in the room. You never know who's in the room. And they will get offended if you seem like you're trying to boss hog and be the man in their country. And you will have a problem. I can guarantee you that. Trust me. Like somebody said right here, don't ever outshine the master. That's in the 48 laws of power. That is 100% true. In these places that you go to, you are not the master. Do not try to go out and outshine the people that are from there. That will not sit well. They will not like that. That's like going to the hood, right? But you know nobody yet. And you over there showing your ass and talking loud. That's not going to go too well for you. You know that won't go too well. Number 2, and I just touched on this, stop cursing loudly. So if you were in public and you are shouting and you are I curse. You guys know I curse a lot. But when I'm out in public, I do not curse loud enough for people that are arm's length away. If they're further than arm's, they shouldn't hear me using explicit language. For example, the girl that was in Dubai, I think she was in Dubai, the black girl that went to jail, she was cursing. It's illegal to curse in public and online in Dubai. You don't know what the culture is, what the customs is, what the norms is when at these places when you go to. You cannot behave the same way that you would in the United States. Trust me, it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. You will get yourself hurt, and you will get yourself in a lot of trouble with the locals or with the police. You shouldn't want trouble with either one of them. You should want to go over there and be able to be yourself and enjoy yourself. We're going to talk about dressing properly. I know you guys said that blending in is what you should do. Blend in. And certain times you won't be able to blend in based off physical appearance, but off of behavior, you want to blend in. Please do not go to Thailand and be the guy that stands out, especially if you go out to the provinces. It's not a good idea. It's just not. Do not go to any communist society like Vietnam and Cambodia and be the guy that even you won't be able to blend in, like I said, because you're black or you're white, and those aren't black or white people there. But if you can't blend in by zipping your damn mouth, you're gonna have a problem. Those countries, a lot of these countries you go to are not as free as the United States. They are a lot more strict. The United States and a few other Western countries, and even not even those, the United States is one of the few countries you can show your ass at legally. You can show out legally in the United States. Do not try that in Vietnam. Do not try that in China. Do not try that in Rwanda. You need to have some home training, is the proper word. Home training, because you are in somebody else's home. Now, the third point is dressing properly. Does this mean you need to dress like Austin Holland? No. Does this mean you need to dress like Donald Trump in a suit every day? No. When I'm saying dress properly, I'm saying you should not be profiled as one of the homeless people of that country. People should not look at you and think that you have nowhere to stay tonight. If you're standing out at the McDonald's and people think that you are loitering there, that's a problem. If you are a U.S. citizen and people think that you are beneath them in the financial status, that's a problem. That's a serious problem. People judge people based off initial appearance. First impression is the proper word. Your first impression is your lasting impression. If you look like a bum, you will get bum results. You will be treated like a bum. I don't give a what you see online. You don't know the full story. Believe none of what you see, none of what you hear, and half of what you see, right? Because I can tell you somebody's doing good. It may look like somebody's doing good. Little do you know, that's half of what you're seeing. It looks like they're doing good. Really, what you're seeing is a forced interaction. Just because you see Austin Holloman in the video and the chick is hugging me, you don't know. I could have paid her to hug me. That's why I say believe half of what you see. Nothing is real online. The world is now fake, especially in the United States. Everything is fake. Your favorite influencer in a jet taking pictures, the jet's not even in the fucking sky, and it won't be going in the sky with them on it. When you go to these places, leave a good first impression. Dress for the occasion. If you are at the beach, sure, no shirt, tank top, shorts, however you want to do it, just fine. You're going to a 5-star restaurant in Colombia. Just because you are American does not excuse you from looking presentable. I'm sorry. I don't know what it's going to take you guys to understand. You are a guest. And also, these interactions that people are having with us overseas is the stereotype that they build. It's a stereotype that they build. So the Brazilian chick that I've been seeing out here, you guys know Brazilians love to show love and kiss and hug and all this other kind of stuff, right? When I was doing the same thing to her, hugging up on her and all that kind of stuff, she was shocked and her friends were shocked too, because they said that most Americans are cold. They don't treat them like that. That's the stereotype we built, because that's what it's like in our country. In our country, we are cold. So dress for the occasion. Guys, I have on I don't even have on socks today. I have on basically flip-flops, sandals, I guess is what you would call them. Sandals, shorts, and a button-up. Simple. It could even be a t-shirt, something simple, but I still look presentable. I could still go anywhere in this outfit and fit right. I could go to a 5-star restaurant and just look just fine. You guys need to learn how to take your, you guys need to learn how to present yourself. You guys need to learn how to put yourself together. Brush your hair every single day. That whole, oh, I don't care what people think. You should. You really should. Because if you don't care what people, trust me, if you don't care what people think, the women aren't going to choose you when it comes to your appearance. I'm referring to appearance because that's not an absolute statement. When it refers to your appearance, you should care what people think. If women look at you and they can see like, oh, he's not even put together. Subconsciously, they think everything in your life is not put together either. When you're very well dressed, very well put together, well groomed, good hygiene, women instantly look at that and they take that as he's got his shit together. His bank account is probably together. Not because he looks rich, he looks responsible. Stop looking irresponsible. You want to look irresponsible? You're going to get irresponsible results. It's that goddamn simple. We live in a cause and effect world. You do this, this happens. The quality of women that choose you will go down when you don't care about your appearance. And this is also an issue of why you guys don't have success in the States. See, I didn't have zero success in the States. I had success, of course, but I just was not happy with the results I was getting, and I kept myself the way how I was, and I went somewhere else, and my results improved. I changed my market, but if you cannot change your market if you have not improved the product that you started with. I heard DJP say this: if your product is not selling, you improve it, you work on it, you make it better for customers. If it's still not working, you change your market. If it doesn't work then shit, you just out of luck. You may have to be reincarnated. So how do you improve your product? What did I just tell you? Your hygiene, boogers in your nose, brush your teeth, Q-tips, get the earwax out of your ear. How are you going to expect how are you going to go to Brazil and expect a Brazilian woman to kiss you in the mouth and you got plaque all on your goddamn teeth? No woman worldwide will want to kiss you. That's a fucking fact. Unless if she is just as nasty as your ass is. And if you happy with that, y'all can be nasty together. Good. I just can't do it. Even if I was on a goddamn island for 6 months by myself, I'd still be trying to figure out how to brush my teeth. That's disgusting. You can get gingivitis like that. So I'm not just telling you this to be a pretty boy. You can actually build a health condition from not brushing your teeth. Your teeth can literally fall out your goddamn mouth from not brushing, because your gums will start to tell you how nasty your mouth is, to the point where the damn tooth can't even stay in your mouth anymore. Get some Q-tips. Get the earwax out of your ears. Guys, get the earwax out of your ears. Brazilian women love to lick you in the ear too. How would it be if she licked your ear and tasted some copper flavored earwax? It might be the end for you. It might just be all over with. Just being real with you. That's worldwide. I hope you guys are taking showers every day and using deodorant. Please do that. That should be a no-brainer. I hope you guys are washing your clothes. Shaving, getting your hair cut, keep your grooming together. You shouldn't have nose hairs you shouldn't have a damn Pinocchio nose of nose hairs coming out your nose. If it's that long, get a pair of scissors and clip them out if it's that bad. Ask your barber to get the nose hairs out of your nose. It's something you can do about all this. But you have to improve your product before you go abroad. Like I just said, get your attire together. Start wearing a watch. Start wearing a chain. It doesn't have, you guys see, I don't wear no big gold chain. I have a gold chain, but it's not a big gold chain like 50 Cent wore in 03. It's not that. Wear accessories to improve. Get a nice pair of shades. Get that if you need to. If you're insecure about being bald, I don't know why. There's plenty of bald people. If you're insecure about that, wear a hat. Do something to build your confidence, because it don't work on your product with the physical appearance. Your confidence won't be there. It just won't. You won't believe in yourself. The shit you say will dry women up. You're not gonna get them wet. You're gonna dry them up. You're gonna dry them up because you ain't got the confidence in yourself, because you have not worked on yourself. This is not all about American women being shitty. I would agree with you. I don't like them either. I don't. But they can't say much shit about me. All they can do is throw false accusations about me being gay or... Another thing you guys need to work on before you go overseas is your damn charisma. I know you guys may see me get on camera and I might be kind of goofy. I do that for entertainment. Like, Fred has been around me. Floyd has been around me. Many of my subscribers have been around me. I know how to flirt with women. For some reason, when I get on the camera, I'm trying to be entertaining. Subconsciously, I'm not even trying to do that. Because I laugh at, when I edit the videos, I laugh at shit. But just because these women are foreign and they may be less fortunate, not all of them, because it's not all of them, but they may be less fortunate, different living standards, you may be the prize to them. You're not the prize if you don't brush your teeth, but you may be the prize for these foreign women. But they're still women, and they still want to be talked to sweet. Just because you have a U.S. passport and a high conversion rate in their country does not equal satisfaction for them. And if it does equal satisfaction for them, you need to get the hell away from them, or you need to stick to pay for play. But if you want to find a meaningful girlfriend, a meaningful relationship, you need your charisma together. And I'm not trying to say you need game, because to me, game is the whole wait 5 minutes, text her back in between texts. I'm not talking about that. You need to learn how to be charming. If you don't know how to be charming, read some books on becoming charming. Learn how to sell something. Do not think just because you are American that all you have to do is show up. There's been times, many times in many different countries, especially in Brazil. There are Brazilian women I dealt with in their country that would be so-called a high-value man, right? When we fell off, guess what they did? They went and got one of their own, another Brazilian, Fred can attest that he's seen this, and they are just fine and just happy. To put the whole cold truth to you guys, these women in these other countries actually would prefer to be with their own. Just like a lot of us would prefer to be with American women. Generally, we don't want to be because of what they become. So these women, if you're in Colombia, believe it or not, if there was a Colombian man that had all the same attributes, that was just as rich, just as much status, but he was just Colombian, the chances of her choosing the Colombian over the American are high. Why? Because they can relate more. The relationship will be a lot more meaningful. This isn't always absolute, but there's a lot of truth to that, as much as you might not want to accept it. So that being said, you have to come with your A game when you want to date somebody from another culture. If you are in the States and you want to marry a white woman, you better believe if you want a good white woman, you need to be a good black man, not a... Those same African women that hate themselves, not all of them, but there's a large amount of African women that want a white man because they've been programmed to feel like their men are not good enough for them. Believe it or not, if those African men had the same thing and the same amount of power and the same amount of influence and the same stereotypes as that white man has, she would pick the black man over the white man. You better believe it. So that's why I say, if you, especially over here in Argentina, right? There's already going to be some sort of, if you're going to Europe, if you're going to Asia, maybe not in Africa if you're black, right? But if you're going to Europe, Asia, or if you're dating anybody that's not black in these countries, and you decide that you're going to go to Thailand and you're going to take this Thai woman off the market, you have to be on point. There is pressure because every time you walk in a room with your white girlfriend from Spain, people are going to look at you. So what they're going to do is they're going to, in a split second on the first appearance, they're going to assess you and look at, is he even worth that amount? Because I know he's black, but is he worth the trouble that's going to come with that? Because there's going to be some trouble. It's going to be some rooms that you step in that people are not going to like that this is an interracial relationship. It's the same thing here in Argentina. Might not be like that in Brazil, but some places it may be in Brazil. Just like in the States, if you go to Dallas and you got a white girlfriend, for the most part, it won't be a big deal. Take your white girlfriend to Mississippi. Take her to Alabama. Take her to the rural area and see what kind of looks you get. So the same thing, when you black dudes love Asian women, nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, when y'all love Asian women, you need to be worthy. And I'm just telling you what they think. You need to be worthy of that trouble. People in her family won't like that. People in your family won't like that. Some of your friends might not like that. I think you guys get the idea. Another topic, learn table manners. Table manners. El Guapo talked about this when we did our collaboration, where he talked about how women in other countries are impressed by the table manners that American men have. The way how some of, not all of us, how some of us put the napkin in our lap before we eat the food. I don't always do that. If I'm at certain restaurants, like a nice steakhouse or a 5-star seafood restaurant, I'll do that. Like I said, there's a time and a place and everything. Dress for the occasion, behave for the occasion, yes. They're impressed by that. And more than likely, they've had an American that's already behaved like that. So what happens when you fall out of the stereotype? You fall out of the loop because you ain't got no table manners. What are table manners? Chewing with your mouth closed. Not talking with full mouth. Not yelling at the dinner table. I'm saying this because some people actually haven't learned this. It's a lot of people in this world that haven't learned this. But I have noticed out of 16 countries, there's only been one foreigner that I went out to eat with that did not have good table manners. And I'm referring to the women that did not have good table manners. So if she has good table manners, you better believe you need it. Otherwise, you will dry her up and you won't get a call back and your ass will be jacking off or you'll be going somewhere to pay for play. We're not going to talk about Asia because in Asia, they do chew with their mouth open. You guys see me complain about that a lot. If for some reason you don't know how to shut your damn mouth while you chewing, go to Asia because apparently that's normal for them. But I'm going to tell you in Africa, South America, Europe, I did not see that. Table manners. Watch some videos on table manners. We'll talk about table manners again. Another important thing that a lot of you guys need to know is have respect and abide by the local laws. Move as the Romans do, as they say. Do as the Romans do. So when I was in Africa, jaywalking was pretty much normal. Getting hit by a car was just like every time you got out in public, somebody was about to get hit by a car. That's how they move over there. Fine. Same in Asia, but Africa was the worst with that. When I got to Europe, I noticed in Romania, Poland, people are not jaywalking. They're actually abiding by the traffic laws. You want to do the exact same thing for obvious reasons. Do you want a ticket in another country? Do you want to go to, in China, if you jaywalk, they put you a big screen and they embarrass the shit out you in front of everybody in the city, right? You know that, right? That's why I say you should abide by the laws. In the United States, we can talk crazy about our president. Do not go to Thailand talking crazy about the leader, the king, or anybody that he's related to, or anybody in the government. Do not go to Vietnam doing that shit. Your ass will be in jail and there's no telling when you get out. Do not go to Cambodia doing it. Do not go to the Philippines doing it. I don't care if they have freedom of speech. You are an outsider, and more than likely your ass is black. I don't care if they have freedom of speech in Poland or Romania. I don't care. You do not participate. Kenyans always talk crazy about their president. I never participated in that. I didn't even look into him too much. I don't want to be a part of that. If you want to live in these countries, do not get involved in politics publicly. I mean, of course, if you're living there, you might be able to vote at some point, right? Or something like that. But publicly, do not talk about Jair Bolsonaro in Brazil. Do not talk about him with the rest of it. Don't do that. If you're in Argentina, do not talk about the new right-wing president that they just, don't talk about that. That's not your place to talk about it. You're not gonna go, and like I said, treat it like you're in somebody else's house. Do not go to somebody else's house, a stranger's house, talking about, why is this stepdaddy in here? Why did y'all get a new stepdaddy? Why did you marry him to be the stepdaddy? Who the fuck does that? You guys have never seen me go talk about other leaders in other countries. Number one, I can't do that because I'm an influencer and the chances of me getting caught up doing something like that is extremely high. Number two, I don't give because I'm just a visitor. Number three, it's not my place to talk about it. Another point, never, ever, ever insult somebody's country directly in a general sense. I've seen many people, and I'm gonna call Floyd out on this, but I'm not gonna say what he did. I've seen many people do this. If you know, and Floyd didn't do this, but if you know that you are of higher status or you are above the locals on a socioeconomic scale or whatever you want to call it in these countries, do not make that known out loud. Do not make it seem as if you are better than anybody in that country, because if you feel that way and you say that, you never know who is listening and who will show you that you can get put in the same jail cell or the same cemetery, which you wouldn't be in a cemetery, but a fucking body bag or a hospital bed from getting your ass whooped for talking crazy, just like anybody else in that country. What you guys need to realize is when you step into Brazil, when you step into Colombia, when you step into Thailand for sure, and Vietnam, and other African countries that I've been to as well, you not have the same rights that they would have if they came to the United States. See, when they come to the United States, they can talk shit about Joe Biden and Trump. Do not do that over there. It's almost like going to jail, right? You forfeit your leverage and your rights. More so leverage and rights, right? Because you do have some rights. The best case scenario when you get caught up in trouble overseas is actually getting deported. The worst case scenario, we've seen it in North Korea with the guy, I think he's from Connecticut or Columbus, Ohio. He's from somewhere, Cincinnati, somewhere like that. He goes over there with his American attitude and he thinks he's gonna rip posters off of the wall. And for whatever reason, as sensitive as North Korea is when it comes to laws, and he never made it home. Well, I'm sorry, he did make it home. When he made it home, he was dead because you forfeit your rights. It's just like traveling to a new state. This gun may be legal in Texas, but when I drive to Arizona, it could get you put in prison probably. Same thing with traveling abroad. You go somewhere else, the laws change. It's not that hard to understand. And people are saying humble yourself. Yes, humble yourself. Please humble yourself before you go elsewhere. But do not insult the leaders. Do not insult the culture. Do not walk around and say, oh, Brazilians do this. That's fucking stupid. You will offend the wrong person. You might get away with it for a while, but at some point you will get around the right person and you'll have a story to tell. If you have a story to tell, because you might not be able to tell nobody, because they might not be able to find it. You also got to remember, as Americans, worldwide, we're known for being arrogant and having our nose in the air and shitting and looking down on the other people when you go to these countries. So why not be the opposite of that perception or stereotype they have? That's how you get a lot of love, right? That's how I get love here in Argentina. Hey, say what you want about it, whatever. But sorry, I was reading chat. The way how you present yourself, the way how you behave, the way how you carry yourself is the direct reciprocation you will get back in most scenarios. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but in most scenarios, if you act respectable, act sensible, humble, and you show everybody else respect, and you show the country respect, you show the people respect, you show everybody in the room respect, you will get respect back. Of course, that's not always a scenario, but for the best case scenario, more often than not, that's what you should do. Now, here's a mistake that a lot of people make. Some will say I made it, even though I wasn't trying to make this mistake, but it's over with now. It was perceived how it was. The damage is done. Never, ever, ever generalize an entire, or characterize, I should say, an entire society of women as whores. Okay? I said me because people try to say I characterize the women in Brazil as easy and whores, which I would never do that. I would never directly say that because I had too many Brazilian women I was dealing with that I would think like, damn, how would they feel if I said that? So I would never directly say that, but my words were twisted. But some of you guys do that, right? So some of you guys go to the DR and y'all get prostitutes. And you guys go to Thailand and you guys get prostitutes. You guys go to the Philippines and you get prostitutes. You go to Brazil and you get prostitutes. You go to Colombia and you get prostitutes. And you make them twirl around in circles and do all this crazy shit that no regular woman would do there. And then you present it to the public as this is how these women behave, when you know goddamn well that those women are prostitutes.